Okay, so now it's time for notation station. So parallel and perpendicular are really big words that mathematicians have long since hated writing. So what we've done is we've made some symbols that represent parallel and perpendicular without having to spell it all out. So if you have two lines that look like they're parallel, this actually means parallel. So I might write a sentence that says line N is parallel to line L. And that's it. That's all I have to do. I don't have to write any words or whatever. I'm just saying that those two lines are parallel to each other. Okay. Another notation is this one, and it means perpendicular. Again, because these words are so big, mathematicians were like, we need a shorter way to write it. So then for this example, I would say that line K is perpendicular to line L. Because I notice in the corner of K and L, I've got that 90-degree angle right here, which tells me that they're perpendicular to each other. Okay, so those are my two notations for that. So whenever you see a diagram, you're looking for these indications with the parallel lines or with the perpendicular line. And you can write it shorthand by doing the little, the double bar or the T, the upside down T, which means perpendicular or parallel. Okay, so then there are two postulates that we want to talk about. Basically, they say that parallel and perpendicular lines exist. So, okay, these two postulates are basically the same. It says, given a line and a point not on that line, there's exactly one parallel line. And given a line and a point not on that line, there's exactly one perpendicular line. So, for example, over here on the side, if I have a line and I give you this point, then I can create exactly one line that is parallel to the other one. So I could create exactly one that's parallel. I couldn't create a second one because then they'd no longer be parallel. The angle would be skewed enough. Okay, same thing happens for the second one. If I have a line and I have a point, then there is exactly one other line that's perpendicular to the original. Okay, it just basically says you can create parallel and perpendicular lines from any point and a line. Okay, super simple, super weird. I'm going to start on a new page and we're going to do a diagram where we identify some parallel and perpendicular lines. All right, so take a minute, pause this video, make sure that you draw my diagram, and then I want you to use the indications that are on the map to name a pair of parallel lines and a pair of perpendicular lines. So take a minute, pause the video, and do those two things. Okay, hopefully you're back by now. So a pair of parallel lines. So remember, we're looking for the indication of parallel. And look, right here, we've got two arrows going the same direction on two different lines, which means that this line, DM, well, actually it's a ray, and the ray EF are parallel. Actually, hold on, I'm going to erase that so that I can put the parallel sign in between. Okay. Another reminder about this notation is notice that D is an end point. It has an actual point on the end. So that's why it's on the end that doesn't have the arrow. Same thing with E. E is on the end with the point and not the arrow. Okay. All right, name a pair of perpendicular lines. So here I'm looking for that perpendicular indication or the 90-degree angle, which is right here. Which means that I know that BF, which is a line, is perpendicular to DM, which is a ray. Yay! Okay, so hopefully you got those things, and then we have practice today. All right, nice job.